Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my Foundation Galactic Frontiers content. So today we're going to talk about something really cool. I had to get this poll out of the way real quick. Got me some cocoon. Rion. This dude. Very cool. But today we're going to talk about some optimization type talk. We're going to talk about ways that you can help yourself be stronger and help your account grow faster. And that is through exploration. We're going to talk about that today. Exploration can be huge to help you advance your account. And for a lot of people, they may just kind of forget about it a little bit and miss out on the big benefits of all those resources that they could be getting. Now, me personally, I have not completely explored the map yet. If I zoom out, I'm in this system right here. I just got done exploring it so that I could, start to work on the process of getting 100% exploration on my map. And I saved some of these regions unexplored purposefully so that I could use them to make content about this topic, because I had a feeling that this was going to be a really good content topic to go over, because it really can affect your gameplay in good ways quite a bit. Obviously, because you'll know more about what's out there in the map. You'll have all the systems explored to where you can go there and see what's going on and take part in things like if there's PvP happening in an area you want to go to, or you want to see what's going on with a war between other guilds or something like that. Exploring the content will be good. But it's also because of the resources that you're going to get from doing this, which makes it so amazing, especially at the stage that I'm at, because I'm at like level 21 on my main fleet ship and 20 on my other two, and I'm desperate to find ways to get the resources to advance my ships. Galactic coins is really the bottleneck for me right now in fleet power advancement. So I'm really looking at exploring 100% of the map to get that bump that I need to kind of get over the hump. I started in Border Region 4 when I first loaded up the game on this server. This is server number 1026. Best server ever. So if you're thinking about joining a server, come join ours. But anyway, I started in Border Region number 4. And I was part of a guild that owned this territory right here. It was a guild called Soldiers of Fortune. They have since changed hands to, not really sure what they call themselves now, but this is still their territory that they own. I had explored all of this region, and then I swapped to Border Region 2, and I started to explore all this region now because this is my new home space. So all of that plus all of this I've gotten from about here around on the east side all the way over to about right here. And I still like this region, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I still like about 15 or 16 regions to explore. So that's going to be a huge bump in resources for me if I can get them done. I do not know just how much resources we're talking about as far as how much you get per zone or anything like that. But I decided that I'm going to go ahead and keep track of where my resource totals are right now, so that when I explore this region that I'm going to go to next, I'll have a really good idea as to how much was earned per zone. Okay. So there are some things that we want to take into account though. And one of them is going to be my totals at the start, so that when I finish the exploration on this new zone that I'm headed to, we can look at the totals and see just how much I was able to get from that. So I'm going to go to this system right here, the Voss system. I don't have that explored yet. So I'm going to go there and try. Well, actually, I'll just go to this one because this is the next one on my progression right here, the AND system. I'm going to jump there, whoosh, and get into this zone right here. Now, as you can see, I have not explored this zone. And one of the things that we'll need to take into account is the level of the system. So this is a level 2 system. Now, whenever I do the calculation on how many resources I gained for exploring every single possible thing that's in this zone, I don't honestly know whether the level of the system plays into that or not. I do not know if you get more for a level 3 than you would a level 1 system type of thing. I don't know if there are more resource points to actually find, or that the rewards are better or worse or anything like that. I don't know that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of my totals for this level 2 system. And at the end, after I get it fully explored and all these little points looked at and all the planets explored and the star and any random resources I find laying around, I'm going to add it up and see how much I gained. And then I'll take note of that and then maybe do another one, a different level system, and see what the return is on resources for those differing levels of systems. I don't think there's anything else that would really factor into the amount of resources that you can get per zone other than the level of the zone itself, of the system. Because I don't really know what else it would be that would factor into it. I mean, the only other thing that could factor into it might be the glory return percentage. So let's say that I'm fixing to explore a 0 glory level system right now. If this was 100% or a 50% system, maybe the return on resources that you get is higher or lower. I don't know. I may keep track of that so I can figure it out, because it'd be interesting to know. Because once I examine, explore a couple of different level systems, I think I'll have a pretty good feel for whether or not that is the case or not. So let me take note of my resources that I have on hand currently. So currently I have 2.6 million, and I'm just going to kind of take it to the 100th here. I'm not going to do 2,600,347.33. I'm just going to take it to 2.6 million. Close enough. Water. 2.14 million metal, and 2.48 million galactic coins. That's where I'm going to record as my start. And then at the finish of the exploration, I'll go in and I'll open up all the resource packs in my inventory, and I will look at those totals again. So I tell you what, that's probably a really good idea. Let me go into my resources beforehand. And I think I did this already in preparation for this video. Yeah, I did. I went in there and I spent all of my resource items ahead of time. And that's just something I do, honestly. This is not a game to where I think it's important to keep items in your backpack. Some games that's important, because when your cities are raided, your resources can be stolen. And the only thing that's truly safe in those kind of games are the resource items that you have in your backpack. So in a lot of games, they'll tell you, don't spend what's in your backpack, because that's the only thing that is truly safe and is under protection. When your city's raided and all your resources are stolen, at least you can use what's in your backpack to help you rebuild. But in this game, that doesn't matter, as far as I'm aware at this time, because I don't think there's a mechanic in place where people can raid your city to take your resources, because you have no city. You have a ship, fleets, and you have home ports, and you don't own those, so you don't really store anything there. So everything you own is on your inventory. And personally, I like to go through and keep everything that's in my resources tab spent because I want the resources allocated up here in my hotbar. That way, no matter where I am or what I'm doing in game, I can always look up here and know exactly what I have. When I'm in the overworld map, I can see. When I'm in my city, I can see. And I don't have to constantly go into my storage area and then look at my resources and say, okay, I have 5,000 containers of water here. That's 50,000. And then I just use them and have them be in my bar. That way I can constantly know what I have at all times. There's really not a reason not to in this game, other than just the hassle of having to open everything at all times. But for me, I like it like this. It's great that I have resource storage, but I want to know what I got at all times. I don't want to have to constantly go into my inventory. Okay, so now that I know that all that stuff that's in my resource depository is spent, these are my totals. I'm going to record those totals, and I already have 2.6 million water, 2.14 metal, and 2.48 coins. Okay, millions. So I got that recorded. So now let's go to the system. Let's actually start the exploration progress, and let's see how well we do. At the end of the full exploration, we'll tally up the resources. So when we're talking about the resources that were gained from exploration, there is some things that we're going to get through this process that I'm not going to record. I don't want to record every single item that I get because that would just be crazy. Because there's going to be all different levels of speed ups, hero tokens, just all kinds of different stuff. And basically what I'm concerned about right now is just the 3 key resources: water, metal, galactic coins. So when you come into a zone, you're going to see differing types of resource nodes to be collected. You're going to see the question marks, which when they're tied to planets, that's going to discover the planet for you. And then if there's any available quests on the planet, it's going to throw those up for you to be able to do as well. If it's the ascendancy controlled, then you're going to wrest control from the ascendancy. If it's just a normal world, then you're just going to explore it, and you hopefully form an allegiance with them of some sort or whatever, with the people on the planet through quests and stuff. Then there's going to be these little green hands where you can collect varying things like water and ice and stuff like that. Then there's going to be harvestable nodes where you can click on there and your ship mining laser will harvest differing amounts based on the rarity of the resource. So like right now, this is a metal and this is a metal, but the purple is going to give me more than the blue would give me because it's a higher quality resource node. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start collecting everything and we're going to see how it goes. Then when we get to the planets, we're going to do the quests on the planets and we're going to look at that. We'll talk about that more here in just a second. So we're going to start gathering. Let's get it. So on these green hands, you can send out as many mining bots as you want, as far as however many you have on screen to hit. The purple metal resource nodes give you 10,000. The blue give you 5,000. And that's interesting because in this zone, it's a level 2, and I wonder if maybe in a level 3 or 4 system they give more. I don't know. That'd be interesting to keep track of, but I don't want to go too deep into the weeds on this. I just want to get an overall impression so that I can kind of possibly form an overall guess as to how many millions of resources you can collect by doing 100% exploration of your map. It's going to be hard for me to say 100% definitively because I've already explored quite a bit of my map and I didn't think to take note of any of that beforehand, but we'll see. So when you come up to a planet discovery icon, it's going to have a little gauge here that shows you how much resources you have and how much it costs to explore the planet. So right now it's saying in water, it's going to cost me 1,000 water to explore this planet. So we hit that. Boom. When you explore the planet, it's going to give you an initial reward right here. So right there, we got one of the things we're tracking, galactic coins. And then we also got some really good credits. Those are good resources. And we got some speed ups. Now, by the time we get done exploring this whole zone, we will have gotten a lot of these materials. So honestly, it would be cool to keep track of all this. Gosh, I didn't want to go deep in the weeds like this, but I guess I think I'm going to go ahead and track this because I really want to know how many galactic credits I got, how many speed ups and which type and all that. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and when I hit these, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to make a little mark on each one of the sections to let me know how many we got so that at the end we can actually tally it up and see the whole tale. I knew I was going to do this. I knew it. I told myself just go in there, Mirandus, and just find out about water, metal, and coins. And that's it. That's all we're doing. And I knew that my ODD was not going to allow me to just explore this zone and only know that. I've got to completely nerd out here. And I want to know about coins. I want to know about speed ups. And I want to know about credits. And I want to know about hero tokens and all that. So, all right, we're going to do that. The focus of this video has now shifted to be a complete all-inclusive list of everything that you can get for exploring. Okay, so I claimed that, recorded those totals of the different types of speed ups and all that kind of stuff we got. Now, when you explore a planet, you'll then have an exploration menu, and every single planet that you can discover has this so far that I've seen. So I think this is going to be the case going forward. So when you hit the exploration menu, it takes you to the available quests that are actually on the planet. You're going to have differing types. You're going to have a conversation where you can read a little bit of the little story and you can choose one of two options and you'll get a differing result. I haven't been able to suss out yet what the differing options as far as like, does option 1 always give this or does option 2 always give that? I don't know. I haven't been able to do that yet. And I don't know how deep I want to go with that, whether I want to actually figure that out or not, because a lot of times I've just been hitting option 1 and going with it. Whatever I get is what I get. So I don't know if there's a better choice or not. Then you're all going to have like a combat option. And if you are brand new to the game, you will get to take part in the combat mission. If you're already to a point that your power so far oversees the power of the adventure, it just automatically gives you the option to claim it and just assume that you won. And then you'll have these other little fight icons where you can, same thing. Then there could be other types as far as a shop, other conversation options, all those kind of things. So I'm going to go ahead and do these and we'll see what we get. On this one, okay, so this is something else I'm going to have to record now. These hero training manuals, you get epic and legendaries, and you get hero shards. So I'm going to be recording all this, and then I also forgot about food. I'm going to be getting food too. So this just keeps getting deeper and deeper as we go. Right here, you can see what I was talking about. It says if your power rating exceeds the power rating of the enemy fleet by 80%, you automatically just get the option to crush them, because there's really no point in you doing a battle at this point. Your weight's so strong that you're just going to snap your fingers and they're going to fall over and die. So that's what I was meaning by that. You can see my fleet rating is 287 in regards to the land battles, and that's where they're at. So I'm just going to crush it. Okay, so I recorded all that. Now we'll do this. You get to see a little bit of a little mini story, and it's basically just events that happen, exploration type events. You get a little paragraph of what's going on. You get the option to choose which one you want. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure type thing. Based on this story, I'm going to visit the yeast farm. It tells you the result, and then it gives you a reward. So we got food and water. All right, so we'll keep on going. We'll have an attack event, defense platform landing battle. So now we have the ability to get a training manual, and some food. And for some reason, my squad rating is a lot different. I guess it's maybe a land battle means the squad rating of your team with your heroes, and the other one was like an aerial combat where it takes into account the squad rating of your fleet, I guess is what the difference is in those two numbers, because they're vastly different. So yeah, that must be what's going on. So we'll get that. And that's it for exploration of this little planet. Depending on the size of the planet, it may have more or less events, just depending on, the size of the planet, I think. Possibly the level of the solar system, too. So now we can see from these that the yellow ones, and I didn't see the notification on how much it gave me, so I'm not sure. So I missed that one, sorry. I was wanting to see how much it gave me so I could judge it in relation to the purple and the blue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to explore the planet now. This is a bigger planet, so it'll have more events to do. It does seem to cost the same amount of water to explore as the little one, though, because that one was 1,000 also. It basically throws up a little view of the area around the planet now, so it exposes everything in a certain fog of war radius around the planet, and then it gives you rewards for doing your exploration every time, just like the other one did. So I don't know if this is a thing or not, but the speed ups that I got from this planet and the last one were exactly the same. I got one research type speed up and one shipbuilding type speed up. You can see the icons on the speed ups themselves denote which type they are, and there's differing types in the game. There's research only, can only be used towards research. Shipbuilding only, can only be used towards shipbuilding. And then I think, if I remember right, there's a construction one that can only be used for leveling up modules on your ship. And then I'm not 100% sure if this game has universal speed ups or not, but we'll figure that out right now. Okay, go ahead and got those rewards. And let me look at my storage real quick. We'll look at speed up. And I guess that's what these are. Universal, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Okay, so universal is those. Research are them. Fleet building is the little ship icon, and then here would be your construction build speed up for your modules on your ship. So those are the differing types of speed ups you can get. So far they've been the same from that planet to that planet, though, so I don't know if that's what we're going to see every single time. We'll find out here in just a little bit. Gathering resources. So we'll collect these stray resources real quick. And we've got an exploration one with the little node here. And it gives, you have to explore it, so it costs 300 metal to get that one. And it unlocks a battle, a space combat. So on this space combat one, we're going to get some training manuals, some more comma, and some food. So she is going to be one that you can really grind for, I think, in the exploration mode. If you 100% your map, if she holds true to be the usual one that you get from most zones, that's going to be interesting to see, because what I'm curious to know is, when you're in a level 2 system, do you get the chance to only get her? And then when you're in a level 1 system, do you have a different one? When you're in a level 3, do you have a better hero, possibly a legendary? A level 4, maybe the same kind of progression, step up type thing? Or is it always going to be comma? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, because the next system I do is going to be a differing level, and we'll see what happens with that. So I'm going to take note of these resources. All right, so we'll go ahead and crush that. And then we will do the explorations on the planet. This time you see I have differing options available. We have a couple of additions. We've got an extra story mode, and we have a shopping cart icon on these. I don't know if it's a good idea to do them or not. I just do, because I feel like sometimes they give you really good prices, and I'm all about efficiency in resource buying. So whenever I have the option to buy this, it's obviously probably going to be cheaper for me to buy it here than it would be off the normal store. So I'm going to go ahead and snatch those up. And this one, 85% off. I get a universal 15-minute speed up for 3K, of shipbuilding 15-minute for 1.5K, and a water tankard, or whatever you call it, jug of 1,000 water for 100, and you can buy multiple of those because it shows you how many is remaining. Whenever I get these events, I usually just snatch it all. I just do. I don't know. And you can see the differing cost here because this is a more valuable type of speed up than just this, because the shipbuilding speed up can only be used for ships, but the universal can be used on anything. So that's why they are more than this one is. So stands to reason. Get that. And then I always usually just buy them all because I don't know if it's a good deal or not, but I do it anyway. All right, so we did that. Okay, I'm going to do the other ones. Boom, 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 boom. Got metal. And sorry that I'm not taking time to read all the story and stuff, which it's usually, I like to slow down and read all the story, but for these, I'm just going to go ahead and power through them. All right, let's crush that. And then we'll get this one. So it pretty much looks like the rewards on at least the epic version of these story modes are pretty much the same. I'm getting the same amount of books, the same amount of shards, and the same amount of food. Be interesting to see if that holds true, at least for the differing rarities. It'd be interesting to see. Okay, so that one's explored, 5 of 5. Now let's go on to the next point of interest for the zone. And that would be this right here. I always like to hit these little points of light too, because there's always really good stuff at those. A lot of stray resources around the area, and there'll usually be like 1 or 2 really good gold ones to explore that give you hero shards and stuff. So here you can see we're starting to uncover the randoms in the area. Then we get exposed to these little search ones. You can just click on those, as many as you want, and they will explore the whole thing for you without having to actually fly up to it like a mining node. All right, so this is an example of one of those random ones that give good stuff. It costs 500 water to explore, and it gives some stuff. Gives you a chest to open up, and I got one of those Venturous shards, which is what you use to summon heroes. So that's a really good reward, and that's one more thing to keep note of now. Okay, so we're starting to really get a good feel for how much stuff is actually to be explored and to be gotten. So next on the docket, we're going to go to this Empire planet, or Ascendancy. I call them Empire. Wow. Star Wars on the brain here. There is also some other resources you can get, and you'll see that little icon right up here, and that correlates to the amount of exploration you have done in the zone. So whenever you get to the point that you break these milestones in your galaxy exploration right here, you'll see the differing resources you get. Okay, this is the same resources, except for the food's a little better for some reason. We'll take that. All right, get these randoms. Gathering resources. Deploying mining drones. Get these. Gathering resources. Okay, let's explore this planet. It's an Ascendancy planet. It's telling you it's under blockade. As long as you have the power needed to beat them, you'll have victory assured condition and you can crush it. Then you'll get some resources. And as part of the actual planet exploration, you get your normal amount of rewards. We're seeing pretty much the same across the board. The credits, the speed ups of the same type and the same amount. So cool. All right, so now that we did that, we've explored the planet now. Well, we've opened the planet up to be able to be explored. We grab these loose ones around here, and then we'll do the planet. Okay. Let's do the attack event. All right. Get a book and some food. Let's see what we get here. A universal speed up. 16 1-minute ones. So this time we got a different quantity and type. And we'll do this next event. Got 2 training manuals. So I'm just telling you from what I've seen, one of the main reasons you may want to do this is for these dudes right here, these training manuals. The epic and the legendary amounts of training manuals that we've gotten so far has been crazy. So that right there is why you want to explore for real. Yeah, it's crazy the amount of training manuals we've gotten already. Okay, so we got some speed ups and some water again, and I don't know if the discounts were the same because I didn't pay attention last time, but they were something like that. Okay, we'll go ahead and get all that. I guess if you wanted to save coins, you could probably forego buying the water and the iron. I don't know if that's a smart move or not, honestly. I don't know if it really adds up to enough resources to really be worth it, but the amount of credits you save could possibly help you. But whenever you get to 19, 20, 21 and then above on your fleet, you're going to need so many millions of credits that the 5 to 10,000 you save by not buying those on every planet in the solar system isn't really going to make a difference at all. So I would suggest just going ahead and doing it. What the heck? Why not? Okay, let's explore this legendary one. 500 water. Okay. Boom. Okay, there was a magnifying glass event over here that I hit, and I did not record what I got off of it, but I saw a speed up, but I didn't see what type. So I'm going to be just tiny bit off on my calculations because that's the first mistake I've made in recording the data so far. And I really don't have a way to know what that is until after the video's done and I can go back and look at it. But honestly, it's not going to kill us to be off 5 or 10 minutes on speed up totals. Now that we finally got some exploration logged in this system, let's look at our completion area where it shows the rewards we get for completion. It's in 2 separate places depending on how zoomed in on your map you are. If you're fully zoomed in like this, it's down here where it shows the little galaxy icon, and it will bring up your exploration progress rewards menu. When you get to the top, you can hit it and collect all the rewards, and you will expose the fog of war on the whole map so that you can at least see where you're going now. If you're fully zoned out, well, not fully, but more zoned out than you were before, it will show up right here in this little chest here, and it shows the amount of completion you have out of what you need to explore the whole fog of war. So same thing. So these rewards are available, and I'm going to go ahead and just leave those there until I get it full, and I'll claim them all at once. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to head to this planet. And this is not a hostile system. There's no glory rewards for exploring or killing in this zone. So yes, I could get attacked while I'm here, but odds are I probably won't, because there's really nothing in it for people to kill you in a zone like this. So the only reason that they might actually do that would be if they just want to be a jerk and are just feeling spunky, wanting to mess with somebody, or if possibly your alliance tag is somebody they're at war with, and when they see your BRB or whatever you're carrying, your colors, they may decide that they want some, and just to aggravate you and your alliance. I can see that being a thing, because at some point you may generate so much hate with certain alliances between each other that your leadership just says, hey, BRB is kill on sight. Kill all those fools wherever you find them, under the sink, behind the counter, in the backyard, behind the pool, wherever you find those fools, kill them. You know, that may be a thing, but for most of the adventuring in these systems on the 0% glory rating, you shouldn't have to worry about anything. So I'm going to go ahead and explore this one. And I get an attack event, which generates these rewards. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and collect that. And then we're going to go up here. We're going to scan the planet. And that will give us a better view range around the planet. All right. So now we got some rewards for exploring the planet. They seem to be the same as always. So we'll claim those. And then we will look at the exploration menu. Standard, just varying degrees of rarity. So let's take this battle one. For a legendary one, you get Venturous Shards. So that's really cool. Plus a little bit more manuals and a little bit more food. So the rarity of the event does increase or decrease the amount of loot. So that's interesting to know. And man, I don't even want to tell you the totals so far because I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but I've already got a ton of these training manuals so far, especially the epics. Golly, I've gotten a lot of these so far. So that right there is the reason number one that you want to do this, because that's going to help you power up your heroes, and that's going to be a big deal. Big deal. Okay, got some more training manuals. And a shopping event. We're going to get these speeds for 85, 95, and 75. I think that's pretty much the same from what I've seen from the last few I've done. So I think maybe the discount rates are probably the same. I don't know if the varying rarities will change that, though. Will be interesting to see if we can notice that. And we'll get the metal. Okay. All right. So now we're on to the next exploration event in the zone. Well, hang on. I got to grab all these loose resources first. These little mineable nodes, you have to actually fly to each one and get. Some of those others, you can just click, get them all, as fast as you want. Grats to one of my bros there for getting a 20 win streak in the Valor Arena. Ace. Good job, bro. Need to start paying attention to those when I'm making videos so I can have chances to send grats to all my people in the alliance I'm in, because they're amazing people in the BRB Coffee Alliance. Be Right Back Coffee, #1 alliance on the server, number 1026. So if you're interested in joining the top dogs, that's us. We're the men and the women that make it happen. We got this. Okay, see that exploration event? I let it go by without even getting it, but it had speed ups and credits in it. I'm going to record that real quick. I need to quit clicking through those exploration ones so fast so I can have a chance to see what was in them. Okay, and on some of these is super cool. This is going to kind of throw the calculation off a little bit because it's random. But every now and then you'll pop one open, and it usually, to me, it seems like it's always the legendary question marks that have the possibility of being this. I don't know if there is like only one per universe that you can find or what, but I seem to have only seen one per universe so far while I'm exploring. I have hit them in every universe, but I think I've only gotten one. So I'm feel pretty confident in saying that there's only one. When you look at the resources that are available on the wheel, there's some really nice ones on here. 10 training legendary manuals. Wow, that one's probably my best choice on this wheel right here. Hero medals, universal hero medals. This is the epic version, 5 of them that you can use to rank up a hero. Those are freaking awesome. 20 epic training manuals, Venturous shards that you can use to summon heroes, 3 of them, and then some really good speed ups. Plus, there's some blue component crates where you can open them up and get a blue component. So, really good rewards on this wheel. And then you have your standard resources, iron, water, stuff like that. But of course, you would rather have some of this other stuff, credits. All right. So, let's see what my luck holds in store for the video. Oh my gosh. Do you see that? I got the best thing on the wheel. Holy crap, I'm excited. It just had to happen on the video. That's what I'm saying. My luck is like that. Whenever I'm making videos on stuff, I will invariably pull the best thing. And then when I'm playing and I'm not making a video, I get trash. But thank you, RNGesus. Awesome. That's a good one. That's the best one on that wheel, in my opinion. Yeah, so like I said, it's going to be kind of subjective on that one. That's going to kind of throw the totals off a little bit. 10 legendary training manuals versus you might have got water, type of thing. So keep that in mind. Okay. Man, that was good luck. Boys, I need to go Vegas. Some drink and some slots. Let's do this. All right. Got my dopamine hit. Get some resources. I can't wait to see the totals on this when I do the tally at the end. I think it's going to be such an amount that I'm going to be like, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? I could have been so much stronger had I had all those resources to spend on my stuff I'm trying to do. Trying to level my ships. I'm trying to level my city, my little modules on my ship. I'm trying to level my researches, my tech. I'm trying to build my combat craft. I'm just trying to do everything. Level my heroes. And I'm doing okay. So I'm not really complaining because I feel like my progress has been good. I have paid for a little bit of it, so I got to be straight up with you on that. I've probably put, and I got to whisper so my wife don't hear me, but I've probably put about $200 into the game so far. I had to be really quiet with that because you know how it is, bros. When you spend money on gaming versus groceries, you're asking for it. A lot of wife aggro can be generated that way. You gotta do what you can do. You gotta rub those feet. You gotta do whatever it takes to get you out of that kind of mess. All right, here's some more resources for exploring the planet. And you may be the type of person that's completely free to play and you have a whole different experience. You may be the type of person that has spent 10 times what I've spent. So you may have a completely different experience. I would consider myself a light spender. I'm in no way considered to be a whale at all. So your mileage may vary on that one. Okay, we got those resources logged down. Okay, let me log these. Man, it's going to take me an hour to add up some of this stuff. I'm going to pause the video and come back with the totals. And you can click through these events as fast as you want. Okay. Let's do the shopping cart. Okay, so this is an epic one, and it has different discount totals than what we saw before. The items that are at this one are a lot better than your standard speed up and resources, in my opinion. I think these universal hero medals and these legendary training manuals are like top 10 most precious items in the game, honestly, if you want my opinion. These are so good. These are so good. So at these kind of discounts, I'd pay 20,000 a piece for these. So I'm not even gonna sweat that at all. And that's good. I'm glad to see that. Okay, let's buy the medal. And I'm playing on PC in case you're wondering. If you see my mouse and you see my interface just a little bit different than yours, You'll be tapping on your screen or pinching and zooming, but I'm using mouse and keyboard. Just the gaming experience on mouse and keyboard, in my opinion, is a million times better, but that's just what I like. I fully play this game on my phone at work, and I fully play it on the couch with my iPad when I'm hanging out with the wife, when she's not mad at me for spending money in games. And I like it on the PC the most, though, I will have to say. The game on the PC is just so much easier to navigate the map and all those kinds of things. All right, so here are some exploration events. I don't want to miss these this time. I missed recording 2 of them so far. So let's see what this is. Okay. And we'll see what this one is. Okay. Then we'll see what this one is. Probably going to be some hero shards. Yeah. Got a lot of comma. So if you're into comma, at least in a level 2 system from what I've seen, that's the where to go. Oh, okay. This time I got a different one. So that's cool. I got a Clara this time. Oh, and this time we got a 1 hour universal speed up. So that's really good. Really good. Let me write down these credits. 100. Okay. So now this is the second hero that we've actually found exploring a level 2 system. So I'm starting to suspect that possibly the epic heroes are in the lower level systems and the legendary ones might be in the higher level systems. I am really going to be excited to see that once we start to see some higher level star systems. Right now, remember, we're in a level 2 system. Okay, so let's go for this point of interest right here. We're getting close to having the whole zone explored. We actually have enough exploration done to where we could go ahead and pull up the fog of war. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it on for just a second because I just want to get everything explored first before I hit that fog of war button. Okay, here's a magnifying glass event. All right, 20 and 2, same thing. Okay, now we'll see what this legendary one's got. Hopefully some more hero frags. Hero frags, come on. Okay, it's just of interest, but that's still good. Still good. That's basically another hero, which you might actually get lucky and pull a hero copy and get 10 out of. So that's, that's huge. All right, let's look. The only other thing we have to explore still in this zone is right here. We have the star and we have the point of interest near the star. Now, there may actually be more stuff. Once we pull up the fog of war, we'll see some random resource nodes type of thing. And I don't know if when you fully explore a zone and you get all there is to get, if when you come back to that zone later, some of this stuff respawns. I'm not really 100% sure on that. That would be interesting to find out, though. Okay, here's the random point of interest stuff. Let's see this one. Okay, same thing as always. 20 and 2, 1 minute speed ups, universal. 20 and 2, 1 minute universal. So that's 2 of those. Okay, now we'll hit this legendary exploration event. Come on, hero frags. All right, we got a Venture Shard and a Clara. Very good. All right, so we're rocking it. Okay, let's look. Let's take one quick cruise around. Make sure we don't have any points of interest that we didn't get. I don't see any. Let me look around this star real quick because I know there's probably some more here. I don't have the option to explore the star. So there's no exploration to be gotten that way. You can see what the port earnings are if you own that port. This one's owned by German Best, an alliance on our server. Okay, so that appears to be everything that's discoverable that we see right now. What we're going to do is we're going to notice that we have 261 exploration points out of 150. 150 is the amount that it takes when you reach, you can get rid of the fog of war. We're going to go ahead and claim all this. Let me take note of it real quick before I do. All right, got it recorded. Boom. Okay, got all that loot, and we have exposed the whole system. So now we can see if there's any other resource areas that pop up. Yep, you got to zoom down to a certain level to be able to get them. I'm going to go over here and get these. Okay, that was similar to what's normal. 20 credits and 2 speed ups. Let me write that down. Okay. So I got to stay zoomed in at a certain level to be able to see these as they pop up. So I think it's the level where the ships actually start to pop in. There's one. Sometimes you got to kind of just scroll and stop for 1 second to give everything a chance to pop in. Here's one of these. Same thing, 20 and 2. Let me record that. Okay, we got this one. That one. So all in all, I think I've pretty much exhausted everything that's on this system. Whoops, I thought I did. And I found this. Few thousands of differing resources. A lot of AFK ships. And that's to be reasoned because there's just really nowhere for us to go except for a port or a garrison. And I'm still continuing to find stuff. Keep thinking I've pretty well got it, and then I keep mousing over some things. Okay, I'm going to call it right here. I think that's pretty much it for the system. Whatever's left will just be a few thousand of anything. So I'm going to pause the video and do the math, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the totals. This is a level 2 system with 0% glory return, and then the AIN in the zone of what? Border Region 3. So that's where we're at. So I think that's all the really key metrics that would figure into the calculation that we need to take note of. All right, I'm going to pause, do math. We'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So let me get rid of my calculator here. So the totals were interesting, and it's not what I expected. Because honestly, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I need to get out there and explore because I need that water and metal. And I thought that's going to be the thing. But I had not taken into account all the other good stuff you get in the process that is infinitely more valuable than the basic resources. So I'm going to lay it out to you and let you know how much we got. We got 57,000 food, 70,000 water, 280,000 metal, 110,000 galactic coins. So those are your basic four resources. And as you can see, the totals are great, and added up to all the other systems that you would explore to get to 100%, that's going to be millions of resources. So that's a good thing. But here's where the true tale of the tape really comes into play. The stuff that's very valuable that you get in addition to all this. So in a level 2 system, I got 1,040 credits. So that is something, these right here that you're able to spend on whatever you want. I got 8 Venturous shards. Now, whether this is just through the luck of the draw or this is the normal amount you get per system, I don't know. But 8 is almost a full 10 pull. So that's a big deal. I got 25 legendary training manuals. You'll also remember that because of that roulette wheel, I actually landed on the number 1 prize, the 10 legendary training manuals. So your mileage may vary on that one. You may get 10, 15, whereas I got 25 this time. Next time I probably won't get that many because I may not hit that again, but that's what I got. Epic training manuals, I got 37, which is huge. That's like 2 18 level skills or a bunch of lower ones, that's huge. The hero frags that I got 2 Clara, and I got 5 Comma. I got 4 epic universal fragments. So that's basically 4 more to any epic hero that I choose. So those are super awesome. And then the last thing that I was keeping track of that you may be interested to know is the speed ups that I got. Now, I'm not going to tell you the amount of the individual types, like I got 10, 15s, 23, 2 minute. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you the total amounts of time per type that I added all up and we ended up getting. So for the ship speed ups, I ended up getting 2 hours. For the research speed ups, I ended up getting 1 hour and 30 minutes. And for the universal speed ups, I ended up getting 2 hours and 17 minutes. So those are the totals. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a little Excel spreadsheet up here on the screen for you in case you want to take, pause the video and take a screenshot of this to kind of look against your numbers and see if you're going to do any more math on this situation and go even deeper into the weeds than I went, to where you might be able to deliver us up a total for all solar systems or something like that. This is the information for the, let's see, which one is this? The AN system, a level 2. So give me just 1 second and I'll throw up that spreadsheet on the screen. Okay, so let me get that thrown up on the screen for you. If you are interested in taking this to the next level and you want to totally nerd out on some stats, here you go. You can pause the video and take a screenshot of that, but I've got everything listed and the totals that I got to the best of my ability to calculate it. I may have missed just a few little things here and there, like some of those speeds I missed, but for the most part, I got it all. And the identifier is level 2 system in border region 3. It's the AN system, and it's a 0% glory rating system. So go ahead and screenshot that if you want. All right, good enough. Let's go back to the game. So that was my experience in exploring one system. So now I have 20 to go, and I will have 100% exploration. I'm looking forward to seeing my totals when I get done. I'm not going to sit here and record every single system that I got left because, like I said, it wouldn't be a good amount of data for me because I missed half of them already. So my OCD will not allow me to just take up a project in the middle like that. I would have had to have seen it from the start to finish for me to be able to sleep tonight. So if you just suffer from that, you can understand where I'm going with that. But thank you for watching my content. I really appreciate you. I hope that you have enjoyed this deep dive into the weeds to kind of see what resources a fully explored system can give you so that you can possibly use those numbers to kind of help fuel your desire to 100% explore the map and grow your account. That's what it's all about. We want to grow our accounts and be stronger so we can be tough like the whales and get out there and slay some fools. I'll talk to you in another video about Foundation Galactic Frontier coming soon. Peace. Golly, look at all these BRB. BRB Coffee. Be right back.